Tom Bedford.
Adam Franklin. Got a
You
sec?
got,
Got a sec?
yeah.
Love him.
How are you, mate? You all right?
I'm all right. Yeah, I'm all right. Long time no see.
I know, mate. Yeah, it has been. It has been. How's tricks? How's life?
Life is good, mate. Life is really good. Busy and juggling everything as you do in the summer holidays with kids, work, other commitments, and all that sort of stuff. So it's just all a bit up in the air. So yeah, all good though. All good. What
Fair
about
play.
you?
Yeah, man. Sounds like I'm just looking at you now, thinking you're what I want to look like. Basically, what I look like before everything went wrong. Do you know what I mean? This is what I want. A nice trimmed up beard, decent teeth. You got some. I was gonna whack these specs on. Yeah,
What
I'm
about
gonna
the hair
look
though?
like. I'm gonna look like that Friday, mate. Because this is just
Uh,
living at fun now. I tried my hardest to grow it back, and it's just not happening. So it's gonna be gone Friday. I'm
You
going. I'm
said
getting.
decent teeth. I don't know if this camera just gives it an effect. My teeth look like a burnt down fence, mate. They're horrendous.
Oh, really? No, look cracking on here, mate.
No, it must
Absolutely
be just the
smashing
camera. It's the
it. Love
camera.
that, mate. Love that. How's the summer holidays been though? Does it change? Did it change a lot for you?
Do you know what? We're lucky. We've got my parents, Nay's mum and dad, and grandparents, and all these people that sort of hop in and help us out. Because I work from home,
Yeah.
Naomi works from home, so the kids are actually here now, but they're going out to their nans in a couple of hours. But you just kind of you just make it work. But my parents, they're great. Like they have them on a Monday and Tuesday. 9 times out of 10, Naomi's mum works shifts, so she jumps in on a Wednesday or a Thursday. Naomi doesn't work on a Friday, so we kind of like glide through the summer holidays.
Yeah.
We
Sweet.
haven't been on a sort of a family holiday in the summer holidays this year because we went away at the start of the year. And then we've got weddings and all sorts going on in the next sort of 3 or 4 months, and it's just, it's weird to say we don't actually have time to go away on holiday.
Yeah.
Trying to find that space to go away is so challenging this year. So we've got one booked for next year, but it just means that it's a long time to wait because the kids have we went away in February and not sort of May, June, July time. So but no, all good. We just nothing really changes. The kids are out of our hair most of the time, to be fair, which is we are fortunate to have that around us, to be fair.
Yeah. Fair play. Where'd you go, February? Do I remember a video of you like tobogganing down some sand dunes and falling off or something? Or have I made that
No,
up?
you do. Yeah, no, you're right. I did. So I was in Dubai, and we went to the do the quad biking and the sand dune thing. And I've got my little girl's 6 and my oldest is 9. And the guy there was a lovely guy and took us out on this on the safari and whatever else on the camels and quad bikes. And he was walking with my 2 girls in his hands. He was like, "Come on, girls," and we're going up to this hill. And I was like, "There's only one way down here." Anyway, my little girl sat. It's only like a skateboard. He's put this like wax stuff on this skateboard, sat her on it, and you went wave to mum and daddy. And me and they looked at each other like she's gonna. I don't know what's gonna happen here. Anyway, she went down, loved it. And she got to the bottom and she's like giving it all this. And then Evie, my eldest, she was a little bit like, I don't want to do that. I was like, oh, don't worry about it. I'll go next. I had my phone, had everything in my pockets. And he was like, right, you ready, Dad? He said, don't lean back, lean forward. I was like, yeah, I got it. Don't worry about me, pal. And he's like, pushed me down. I got halfway down and I could just feel it. And I just went like that. And I literally rolled down the hill. I had pockets of sand. I've still got those shorts now, and I still get sand. I've still got sand in my pocket, and they've been washed hundreds and hundreds of times since. But yeah, I
Right.
went I went face first, mate. Rolled. I must have seen my daughter at the top of the hill about 4 times, and then she was petrified to go on it, but she went on it in the end. But yeah, I face planted a dune, mate. To be fair,
Nice, mate. Nice, mate. Good stuff, man. Did you have a good time though? Yeah.
yeah, it was fun. It was good. Love it. Love
Good.
it. Can't wait to go
Away.
back.
Away you booked for next year.
Egypt next
Oh,
year.
sweet. Nice.
Yeah.
More sand.
Yeah, it's hard to choose where to go nowadays, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, you want to go somewhere which is obviously safe but hot, and I don't know, just Dubai's really expensive when you've got a family. Like to
Yeah.
go with a family of four, and yeah, it's all right if you're sort of on your own or just with a partner, and you can just fly out there. And but going in a family of four, mate, it's not even the price to get out there; it's the price when you're out there. Like
Yeah.
everything is, it's like going to London for the day. You easily drop 300 quid just going London for lunch and
Yeah.
doing an activity. It's exactly the same in Dubai, except when you probably spend about 400, £500 a day just to keep everybody happy. Do you know what I mean? So,
Yeah. And
but
7
no,
times on the bounce as well.
yeah. But then next time we go, we wouldn't need to do the stuff that we did before. So, but no, Egypt next year. See whether they like it there or not. I'm sure they will.
Cracking, mate. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. But yeah, Sam, for jumping on. Appreciate it, mate. So I always start off with a little bit of a silly question to get us relaxed, and then we get into a topic, but a loose topic, man. Just always want to try and help at least one person with every session that I do. So we'll chat about blokes, really, mate, and men's mental health. Because I think when we first met, we kind of brushed on it before, didn't we? Like me speaking about me struggling in the past, you speaking about some of your mates struggling. So I think if we have another chat like that, hopefully it will relate to someone and speak to someone, and we can help someone out a little bit. But we'll
Mm.
get started with the fun stuff first. Always ask a bit of a silly question to get us going. So yours is for every birthday between now and the day that you're not here anymore, you get the same pet as a birthday present every single year. What pet are you picking?
Uh,
I think you've probably got 50 birthdays or something going still, and you don't really want
goldfish,
50 dogs. Golf.
goldfish. Yeah,
Fucking.
or a fish, just anything that's easily maintainable. Because I wouldn't want 50 dogs. I've got one, and I
Yeah.
wouldn't want any more. Like 50 fish. Yeah, fish. Fish has got to
Sweet.
be the one because you can just stick them in a bowl or stick them in
Yeah.
a and just sprinkle a little bit of fish feed in there. You don't need to take them for a walk. You don't need to do anything. Just they just look pretty, don't they? So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Cracker.
a
It's
fish.
been talk. Go on, mate.
It would just be a fish for me.
Yeah, sweet. Of goldfish, I think they only live about a year as well, so you've probably done well. You just get recurring goldfish, mate.
Yeah, just for the rest of the life, and I just keep calling it the same name, like every
Cracking.
single year.
Wicked. All right, sweet. Right, Tom and his goldfish. Nice stuff, mate. Nice stuff. Like it. Well, that'll be on a short for you, mate. Just you talking about fish for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Bit of pain on there. But yeah, Sam, mate. So we'll get into it. So don't need to be too serious. There's not a real agenda to this. We'll just keep it loose and light. But I don't really remember what we spoke about. So just for clarity for everyone else, we've only met once. We've caught up in between. But I feel like the chat was so natural from minute one. Hence why we're here now. But the one thing that's really getting to me at the minute is every men's mental health campaign that comes out is men need to talk more, and I think that's a load of bollocks. I think men do talk. I just don't, but I also haven't got the answers either. So, and I'm not saying that you have, but I think we could have a chat here and just like, try and sort something out really. But yeah, what's your view on that about men need to talk more?
I think they do, but I think a lot of people don't. I think I don't know the actual stats, but I would imagine a huge amount of people would still not talk about certain things, and that's probably the stigma, isn't it? It's like I'm not feeling too good today. That's one thing. And then there's the, oh my God, I'm in debt. I've got an addiction, a gambling problem, whatever, that I don't want to talk to somebody about. And it doesn't mean you have to be on your own to have sort of a mental health issue or feel down, because you could also be in a relationship. You could be married. You could, and you're just hiding stuff away from people. And I think if you're in that position and you lie, because there's a lot of people that can lie about stuff, right?
Yeah,
And he might even watch this eventually, but I've got a friend that has been in that position. He hid away from everything, didn't want to talk about stuff, and it came off the back of somebody else who was in a bad situation, who's no longer here. I never spoke. I spoke to him because he's my friend, but he never spoke to me about certain situations. So I do think people talk, but they talk to the selected people that they want to talk to. So whether they talk to the right people is probably the better question. It's all right talking to me, it's all right talking to you, it's all right talking to your best friend down the pub or at the football game or whatever. But how often is it you get the wrong sort of advice, or
yeah,
who gives you the right advice, and who I often say to my friends that take whatever I say to you, however you like, because I'm not a counsellor. Fortunately, I've never been in a situation where I feel stressed or under pressure or in a bad way myself personally, and I can never explain to somebody how they feel because I've never felt the way that they feel.
yeah,
So I can't give you advice on that. But what I can do is I could probably make you feel a little bit better about certain things. Like maybe not overthinking certain elements or not, no, don't go down that path, don't do that. You know it's the wrong decision, you know not to do that anymore. You've done that in the past and look what happened. All this stuff that you can kind of guide people, but it's whether people give the right advice because it's like, I don't know, let's say you're splitting up with your girlfriend that you've been with for 5, 6 years and it all ends pretty badly and you're so sort of depressed about the whole situation. If you've been through that situation before, you can probably put your arm around someone and go, "Do you know what? I've been here before, mate. And do you know what? You don't probably don't want to hear it, but it does get better. Like
Yeah,
it gets easier, and you will meet somebody else. It's not what you want to hear right now, but that's generally what's going to happen. So over the next couple of weeks, yeah, you might be sad, you might be angry, you might cry, you might feel a little bit alone, but there's no need to go another way and sort of do something silly.
yeah,
And whether that's drink, drugs, alcohol, whatever it might be, I think you can guide people away from that. But like I say, I'm rambling, but I think what the actual question should be is, are they talking to the right person? Not
yeah,
not just talking to anybody, because then not anybody is going to give you the answer you want. And if they're your friend, they're likely to tell you what you want to hear,
yeah,
um, and not what you should be hearing. So if I spoke to you about something, you would give me the absolute honest truth about what I should probably be doing, or guide me in the situation where you go, you don't need to talk to me about this, you need to talk about this to this person. And
yeah,
that person at the end is going to give you the right advice.
yeah.
So it's not about are we talking to people, it's who are we talking to.
Yeah, yeah, bang on, mate. You're absolutely spot on there. And that's why, and this is not me trying to plug Huddle Up or any mental health services or anything like that, but that's why we always say a third party person is better because, yes, it's nice getting an arm round from your mum or your mate taking you to the pub and speaking about your breakup. But as you say, that when I say people have got an agenda, I don't mean that in a negative way, but they are trying to protect you at the same time and trying to make you feel all right at the same time. Whereas a counsellor, a therapist, and a third party person isn't going to do that. They're just going to tell you what you need to do and how you can improve the situation. And I also think, like you said there, people are more comfortable speaking to a professional or a third party person about the stuff they wouldn't chat to a mate about. So I think you bang on. If someone was struggling, they say I'm struggling, I take you down the pub and go, oh, Tom, I'm really bad at the minute, mate. Sure. But deep down, I'm a gambling addict. I'm not telling you that. I'm blaming everyone else. You know what I mean, oh, my missus left and I'm struggling at work. But deep down, it's because I'm spanking all my money on Sky Bet. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think that's a great shout, mate. So it's who you're talking to, not what you're saying. Basically, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, look, put it into business perspective, right? If you were wanting to grow Huddle Up seriously, like you ain't going to talk to me about how you grow that business. You're probably
Yeah,
going to talk to someone who's grown a business like yours before, right? So you're going to go to someone that you don't know that's going to give you the absolute honest truth about where you are, what direction you're going, what you need to do. And I can only go, well, from my experience, do this. It's like, might not even be the right thing. But you wouldn't seek coaching from your friend
yeah,
or your mum or your
yeah,
dad or
yeah.
anyone else. Yeah, so the person who's going to tell you the honest truth is actually the people that don't know you.
Yeah, no,
Um,
100%. That's a great shout, mate. Good, that's a good analogy as well, man. 100%. Yeah, I wouldn't go to some of my pals and say, "Right, how can I scale this business?" Because they ain't got a clue. So,
yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah, bang on, mate. And I know when we spoke before, you said you've not really struggled with your mental health. You've always been quite steady, quite calm.
yeah.
But I mean, if you were, I suppose that comes on to like, who would you talk to? Would you like, seek professional help and also speak to your circle? How would that work if you ever were struggling?
Do you know what? If I was to think about it deeply, I'd obviously talk to my wife, but I would find that really hard.
Yeah,
And the only reason I'd find that really hard is because she knows me for someone who's never down. And actually, I'd probably end up bringing her down. Like if I
yeah,
was ever in that situation, she would think, bloody hell, this is serious. If you're feeling like this, then something's really wrong. I would, I wouldn't, I would go to seek professional help straight off the bat. I would try and fix it before somebody else, before speaking to anybody else, before speaking to my circle. Because I should imagine that it's quite embarrassing and it's quite brave of people to start talking to their friends and family about certain things that you would consider private or stuff that you're really quite embarrassed about. Going back to the gambling thing, if I've just spunked my whole month's wages on gambling, I don't want to tell my mum that, yeah, I've got a gambling problem. Like that's quite a hard
yeah,
conversation to have, I think. That's a real hard conversation. I would quite happily tell a professional that because
yeah.
they're not going to judge me.
Yeah.
They're not going to judge me in the same way as probably your circle will naturally judge you. As much as they go, oh, don't do that. Like, don't be silly. You're never going to win. Gambling's for set. Yeah, but I'm still going to go and bet 365 and do it anyway. Like,
Yeah.
I'm still going to give you the lip service. I'm going to listen to you, but I'd have to go for professional support straight away because I'd want to fix it before it got to the point of having to talk to my family about it. I'd rather tell my family that I had an issue, I fixed it, and now this is where I'm at, rather than but that's just my own what is it? I don't know the word. I'm too proud to I'm one of these guys that would not talk to someone about it.
Right.
That's the
Okay.
irony of this conversation. I am the guy that would struggle to talk to somebody that I know about something that I don't want them to know about.
Yeah, no, that's amazing though, mate. 'Cause that's why we're here, right? And I think there's gonna be, well, I say loads of people. There might be two people that listen to this to begin with, but there will be someone that listens to this at some point and goes, okay, well, he's speaking my language, and I know what I need to do, but I don't want to do it, and I don't want to go and speak to someone about struggling with, as you say, drugs or gambling, or it could be anything that they're struggling with in their mental health, and when because I know you've said to me like a few times that you've always been all right, like mentally, you've always been
Mm.
sound, and is that what do you think that is? Do you think it's how you've trained your brain to be resilient? Do you think you just got a good life? What is that? Is there anything you do that's special to keep yourself on the straight and narrow, or what is
Listen,
that?
what I do and what anyone else does is not special. It might be special to somebody else to go, how do you get away with not thinking like that?
Yeah,
I've just got this. My mum always says to me, "You've got this attitude of you don't really like in a good way. You don't really care." And I'm like, and I had this conversation with somebody yesterday, and they were a recruiter that's struggling in the recruitment market, and I said, "Do you know what? I had a horrendous April." I said, "But do you know what I've had? A very, very, very good June, July, and August." I was like, "So why am I going to think about what happened yesterday? I can't change it. I literally can't change what happened yesterday. The only thing I can change is what's going to happen today, tomorrow, next week, and that's the only thing I can impact." And I think it's really hard to bottle up how I think or how I approach life. But I'm not the only one that approaches life like it, where you just go, "Do you know what? I'm not going to worry about what happened yesterday because it's uncontrollable. What happened happened, and we move on." And I just think my attitude towards just I like to help other people, but my attitude to helping myself is I just don't look back. So imagine you're in a car, yeah? Just take that mirror off, right? Don't look in any mirrors, just focus on what's in front of you. If you focus on what's in front of you, you're not going to hit something. If you keep looking in that mirror, in that rear view mirror, you're taking your eyes off the front. So if you wouldn't drive looking up at your rear view mirror.
yeah,
You're only going forward in life. You're not going backwards. So the only way you look in that mirror is when you go backwards or
yeah,
checking to see what's behind you. Yeah,
yeah,
you don't drive looking up like that. So if you had that metaphor of you wouldn't drive a car looking in your right wing mirror, your left wing mirror, or your rear view mirror. You'd only drive a car going forwards. Then just think of that the same as life. I'm only going to take a peek up there when I want to know what's behind me.
yeah,
Business, somebody doing something similar to me, whatever. But my focus is always in front of me because I can only hit the car that's in front of me. So
yeah,
I can't hit the car that's behind me. That's
yeah. No,
that's like my only sort of analogy of how I literally live my life is that I only focus forward. Think of a horse wearing blinkers. They can't see what's beside them. They just look forward. And that's
yeah.
why they move forward. Have you ever seen a horse walk backwards?
No, no, I haven't. No,
No, they just
no.
continue to walk forwards. And horses follow the thing in front of them at the pace that they go at because
Yeah,
they're blinkered to do that.
yeah.
And then that's it.
Cracking, like that. And what about people that are stuck in their own head with stuff from the past? I know obviously you can learn from the past. I think that's what you're saying about flicking up and having a look back, like, oh yeah, that happened
Yeah.
previously. Did this. I get the analogy now, and that's cracking. Because I say, if you just look like that the whole time driving, you are going to hit another car or a wall at some point.
Yeah.
But what about people that get stuck in? Are you ever in your own head procrastinating and overthinking things that have happened like today, or just? And what about if people are? How do you think they can counteract that if they're just stuck in their head worrying about things from the past all the time?
So I think let's take you as a good example, right? I look at you and think, fuck me, what a brave guy. What a guy that's been through the absolute worst things like in life. And you're still, yeah, trying to do what you do now to change other people's lives. You could have quite easily not been here anymore, if you want to talk frankly about it.
Yeah.
But you chose to do something to, yes, you had your moments. Yes, you've had your trauma. You've got over that because something somewhere gave you a slap round the chops and
Yeah.
went, you can't live like that. If you did live like that, you're not going to live for very long. So
Yeah.
I need to do something about this. So actually, I look at you and think, what a fucking inspiration he is. Like, so actually, you're a lot stronger than I am. Like in the mind, because you've done it and you've come through something.
Yeah.
I would say to anyone that's sort of in a bad situation is whatever you're thinking about right now is not going to get any better today, right? It's not. So ignore the fact that it's going to get better today. And do you know what? Actually, going back to it, I saw your video on LinkedIn the other day, and where you said about your breaks. Think about the next hour, think about the next day, think about next week, think about next month, and so on and so on and so on. And that is exactly what I would say to somebody else.
Yeah.
Whatever you're thinking right now is not going to get any better by 10 o'clock this morning. Yeah, so don't think it will be. But if you can take your mind off of it till 10 o'clock, that's definitely going to help you get through to 11 o'clock, which is then going to get through to lunch. It's then
Yeah.
going to help you get through the rest of the day. So if you don't keep thinking about it, it naturally goes away.
Yeah.
So, how many times have we thought about, and silly analogy again, but England went out the World Cup about 6 weeks ago, but we haven't thought about it since they went out the World Cup.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll worry about it next tournament.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we went out in the semi. So, but we just forget about it, right? Because you move forward, because we've got distractions, because you've got the transfer window, you've got the Premier League kicking off, you've got non-league and whatever's kicked off now. We're not thinking about what happened 2 months ago. I
Yeah.
know it's a different analogy in terms of you might have gone through trauma, you might have lost a loved one, you might have lost your house and whatever else, you lost your job. But you broke it down perfectly with take it by every 15 minutes, half an hour, whatever, however you want to chew it up. But just know that whatever you're thinking about right now is not going to get better or go away within the hour. You just
No.
need to form your distraction well enough to not think about it for the
Yeah.
hour.
Yeah.
And then
100%.
you start training your brain to move on from whatever it might be. And then you've got another obstacle of training your brain to then not have those moments where there's going to be days of the year that you absolutely hate, right? There's going to be moments that you look back and go, don't like that day anymore, don't like Christmas anymore, don't like my birthday anymore, don't like this anymore, whatever. And there's going to be a long, long list of things that you don't like. But guess what? You're going to know that date's coming up. So
Yeah.
you make yourself a distraction, you do something different, you make it a fun day for you, whatever. But that's how I think I would map it out. I wouldn't mope about something, but I'm not. Like I said, my way of looking at it, mope's quite a strong word, and I don't mean that to be an offensive moping around, but we all hear the word moping around. People don't mope when they're feeling depressed. They don't know how to not think about what they're thinking about,
Yeah. Yeah.
and that's
100%.
what they need help with to take that distraction away, and give them something else to think about. And it always works, doesn't it? Your mate breaks up with his missus, you go out on the lash for the night, he forgets he's broken up with his missus. But then the next morning, he thinks about his missus again.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
100%.
but didn't think about his missus for the 4 or 5 hours that he was sinking pints.
Yeah. 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 For
Because he
sure.
had a distraction. And I'm not saying drinking, go and sink loads of pints every night, but that was the distraction for that 5 hours, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So now think of something else to do. Go play snooker, go for a 5 mile walk, go for a run, join the gym, go buy a dog. Do whatever you think's right to
Yeah.
take your mind off of whatever you think you're thinking about.
Yeah, 100%. No, that chunks of time thing does work, and
Yeah,
it's going to sound bad, but it gets a bit obsessive after a while, which is a good thing because I literally started with hours. That's how it worked for me, and it does work because you get at 9 o'clock and you're like, right, 59 minutes here, and then if you start doing something, you look at your phone, you're like, oh, it's only 20 minutes left, and then you think I can do that for another 20 minutes. Like I always say about depression or when you've been through trauma, it felt like at first someone said, get on that treadmill and run. And I'm like, how long for? Nah, just run. And that blew my mind. Like, I can't get on that treadmill. Because unless someone tells me it's a kilometre, 5 kilometres, half hour, 20 minutes, I thought I can't do that. And it felt like sometimes I'd get on, someone would say, run for 3K. You get for 3K, and then they turn the speed up and go, now do another 3. And that's how it felt to me, just constantly not knowing what
yeah,
was going on, the lack of control you had over yourself. But bringing those chunks back in, you're just back in control. You're in the room and you control everything. And as I say, it might be 9 till 10. I'm going to lay in bed and have a cup of tea. But I know at 9:59, for that next hour, I'm going to go get some toast, sit on the sofa and watch some Brooklyn. Do you know what I mean? So it's every hour. And then now I'm at weeks. now. I look at on Sunday night, I look at my plan for the week and I think, I can do that. I can smash that week. That's absolutely fine. And that's why I do get to a Friday or Saturday and still go for beers. Like I'm back to living like a 21-year-old's life where I work all week. I get a bit pissed at the weekend, whether that's Friday or Saturday, and I know I can do it again. That's the chunks that I'm in at the moment, and that works for me. And I'm not advocating alcohol or alcohol abuse. Of course, I'm not. But it works for me. I think I can get to Friday or Saturday when I can let wash remain of my hair down, and then we can crack on again next week. So yeah, I definitely think it works 100%.
But that's what I mean. You found something that works for you.
Yeah,
Now, I'm not going to go deep on this podcast. We don't have a long time to do it, but I've got one friend in my mind right now that's, he's finally got to the point of he knows he's been told you need to do this, right? Because he's gone and seeked help. He's got it now, but this will stem from trauma from one of our close friends who committed suicide in sort of January, February of 2024. And I'm not going to go deep on it, but he was the last person he spoke to. Them two were like, you couldn't separate them. They were just 8:30 was the last conversation, and by 9 o'clock it all happened.
right.
And he felt like he could have done something else, right, to help him. But the problem is they were both in the same state. So when you put a negative battery with a negative battery, yeah, you ain't going to get a positive. Like, it just
No.
doesn't work like that. So
Yeah.
if we're both in a big bad situation and we're both telling you about our bad situations, what positive is going to come out of that? Nothing,
Yeah.
right? And he's now got to the point of going, do you know what? Hands up here. I couldn't have done anything else. But he's gone through this process over the last 2 years of not being able to get over, not being able to have that conversation with his mate to go, if only I just said this, or only if I took his car key from him, or if only he stayed at my house that night, or only we ordered that Chinese, whatever it was that he thinks he is to blame for somebody
Yeah.
else's actions. And now he's been in the same state of depression. And this is a question I was going to ask you actually. Is depression and trauma the same thing?
No. So depression's a symptom of or a reaction to trauma.
So he's gone through, and you can go through both, right? You go through the
Yeah.
stage of the trauma, and then depression comes along the way.
Yeah.
So that's exactly the state that he's been in. Now he's been really difficult to shake. Like, for me to grip hold of him and give him the right advice. He's seeked advice. He's got what he needs now, and he's on a good path now. But he's gone through it all, like everything you can imagine: drug abuse, gambling abuse, basically pushing loads of people away, hiding himself away, not talking to anybody, stop socializing with everybody, all this stuff that is just not him. And he recognized all of it. He's like, I'm just not me, Tom. Like, when was the last time you heard me say no to coming out for a beer or coming out to play pool or going out to do five-a-side football? He said no to absolutely everything all of the time.
Yeah.
And that was when the alarm bells sort of went off to our friendship group to go, he's not in a good place. And then
Yeah.
it digs deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper, and then you find out, yeah, I've done this and I've done that and I've done this, and now I'm in a bit more trouble. Can you lend me some money? You lend money to him, and it's like, am I lending you money for the right reason, or am I lending you money for the wrong reasons? Like, because if I'm lending you money to pay Paul, then I'm not doing it. But then you
Yeah.
feel like guilty that if I'm not giving you the money to help you, then I'm not helping you. So then you
Yeah.
fall in this vicious cycle, and it's like, it's really hard to come out of it. And he's now in the best place he's been in a long time because he went to see someone that didn't know him.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
100%. It
they
is.
laid it out straight to him. They told him everything, from the moment you were 2, 3, 4, 5 years old. You told him about his whole childhood, his whole journey up to today, and they've just worked their way backwards with him. And now he finally realizes that's because of this, that's because of that. I can control this because of this. I can do this because of that, and I choose to do this because of that. Like, and now he understands all of that. He has his plan. He knows what he's got to do. I don't know if he's breaking it down in chunks like how it's worked for you, but he knows what he's got to do now. and now
Yeah,
I feel like I've got a pressure off of me a little bit.
hundred
Like
percent.
I feel like weirdly, and I don't want to round the report, but I feel like I've kind of my contribution has helped save a life.
Yeah, yeah, good luck,
Do you know what I
man.
mean?
Yeah,
And
definitely.
and it's too close to home for me. Do you know what I mean? I've lost people through suicide. You know, I'm 36, but my friendship group are between 30 and 36 years old.
Yeah,
And in the last 3 years, we've lost three people.
crazy,
Yeah,
man.
three people. Some people that people will know. You know, from Northampton as well. Like it's very popular. You know, from the barbering scene. You know,
Yeah,
lost him. Someone else that people might know, I'm not going to mention any names. You know, he was, you know, a DJ. Done loads of. You thought he had it all, mate. He was in Ibiza, doing all sorts. He took the wrong thing. It weren't suicide, I don't think. I can't say whether it was or wasn't, but we still lost him. You know, when we're like 30, between 30 and 35 years old.
yeah.
Three people in 3 years, and that's on my doorstep.
Yeah, 100% it is. Yeah, definitely. And
Yeah,
you feel it getting closer, don't you? You feel the waves like coming closer. You hear about a mate of a mate of a mate, and then suddenly it's your mate. Like, and it's just, yeah, like you say, it's no age. Like, you should be getting 50s, 60s before you start losing three people in 3 years at your age, man. And then when
I
it's
know.
30, it's shocking, mate.
It's
Absolutely
hard.
shocking.
It's hard, mate. But I just wish people, you know, if anyone's going to take anything away from this chat, then go seek any advice that you can, personally, from outside of your group,
Yeah,
because they're not going to give you the answer or the direction. They're going to give you what you want to hear,
yeah,
and that's it. So unless you're blunt, unless you're somebody that's like me, you know, give someone a slap around the chops a little bit and go, you can't do that. You know, you can't do that. I'm not going to
yeah,
tell you that's acceptable, and I'm not going to go do whatever you like. But you need real advice. You need real support. You need real guidance. You need someone that's going to help you get through that hour, that month, that year, that whatever, those anniversaries, those days, those horrible times, because it's too easy to lapse back into what you were. I suppose, you know, again, I've never taken drugs. I don't know what it feels like. So, someone that's taken drugs before, I should imagine, I've been a smoker, and I know that I've been out on a night out and had a beer and fell back into smoking again. And I should imagine taking drugs is exactly the same sort of,
yeah,
it drags you back in, you know, or whatever it might be that you do, putting a fiver or a coin in the slot machine, you know, whatever it might be that just triggers that thing to come back again. Just there's people that help you to stop doing that,
yeah.
and feeling the way that you may or may not feel. But this is coming from someone that hasn't felt that way, so I appreciate that my advice might not be, you know, any good for anybody, but because I've not been there. But you know, hopefully I can help somebody that might be speaking my language.
Yeah, no, 100% you will, mate. Definitely. And like you said, for speaking outside the circle to a third party is great. And yeah, I think that's enough for someone to take. And definitely, a load of things you said here, mate, will help someone because, like you say, you are straight talking. And I hate when people don't even like saying the word man anymore. But you are a bloke's bloke as well. Do you know what I mean? You do speak like a man would if you go for a pint, just laying out on the table and just stop being a dick. Like, do you know what I mean? That's where we're
Yeah,
at. So it will definitely help someone, mate, and it will speak to people. So appreciate it, man. But yeah, we'll wrap it up, mate. And it comes to the,
yeah.
the all important bit for someone who loves his music as well. You got to pick a tune for the playlist for the Got a Sec playlist. So yeah, it's a difficult question because I know there's probably 100 you want on there, but you got to pick one, mate. So what song are you leaving us with?
Do you know what? Let me. I'm just looking at my. I am a music person, but I'm rubbish with remembering the song.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
but I've got a song at the moment. You might have seen my LinkedIn. I do like a little dance thing in the mornings with my
yeah,
girls.
yeah. I've seen it.
It's
Yeah,
so important that I make them smile before they go into school, because if they're smiling while they walk in the gates, they're going to continue to smile throughout the whole day and come back to me smiling. That's my sort of
love that.
methodology. So in the morning when we drop off, we have 5 minutes of just, I'm going to play a random tune and I want to see if you dance or not. And if you don't dance, that's fine. But at the moment, the I'm he might be a really old artist, but Josh Fawaz, yeah, have you heard of him?
No,
He's got so many, like, he takes old tunes and sort of like speeds them up and makes them like a little bit housey. But at the minute, I am really liking. Uh, it's not really appropriate actually. Let me
No, it's
choose
fine.
another one.
Everything's appropriate on here, mate.
In fact, there's another song that I like at the moment, and I think it is more relevant. It's called Millionaire by Lovix.
Okay.
Yeah, spelled Lovixx.
Okay.
And he's not a millionaire, but it's the song lyrics is "I live like I'm a millionaire." I
Yes.
yeah, basically no stress, no fear, and I just live like I'm rich. That's
Okay. Cool.
basically a song that I really like at the minute.
Oh, wicked. All right, mate. Perfect. Well, I've never heard it, so I'll listen to it, and it'll be on the playlist, man. But honestly, mate, thank you so much for chatting and you. So it's always a pleasure, man. You're such a great speaker, mate. Honestly, so it will definitely talk to someone and help someone out. And we'll definitely meet for a beer and chew the fat as well soon at some point, mate. 'Cause it's been ages.
One more thing, Adam, keep doing your thing because you're the one that makes all the noise, mate, and you're the one that does what people are not wanting to talk about. And as I've said already in this, hats off to you, yeah, because actually you're the one that's stronger than anyone that you've interviewed so far, mate. So keep doing what you're doing because the positivity that you share is more than you know. So you'll never realize how much someone reads your post on LinkedIn, sees your WhatsApp chats that come through. You're the guy that keeps momentum. You're the one that keeps people engaged. You're the one that keeps dropping me messages about doing stuff for charity. You're the one that keeps dropping me messages about doing stuff for the football. Keep getting people involved. Keep doing what you're doing because, yeah, things like this come back around, mate. So just keep doing what you're doing, and yeah, it's good for you.
Appreciate it, mate. Appreciate that a lot. Thank you very much, man. It's nice to hear, man. But yeah, sweet. All right, boss. Well, we'll definitely catch you soon. I know blokes always say that as well, but we will sort something out in the diary.
Mate,
I'll wait till the kids are
I,
back at school and we'll sort it.
yeah, man. Well, look, I'll give you a hug if I was with you. So see you soon.
Legend. Love, mate. Catch you soon, mate. Take care,
In a
man.
bit. Ta-da.
Bye, boy.